remember when we had quadratics and we were looking for the zeros? What did that mean? What were we looking for?
Roots.
Okay, we were looking for the roots. So when we have a function, we called it a zero. When we have an equation, we call it roots. So it's kind of good to know the distinction, keep those separate. But what do those mean? Where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so what were the ways that we learned to find maybe where those x values were? We did graphing. Principle of product, so when x equals 0, right? And we also could find when the quadratic, so we had a couple of ways of finding what our x values were. Okay, well we're going to do that as well with this. And I'm going to do one problem with you. So, let me just hold on a second. I'm going to do this problem for the bell rings. Okay. But I want to give you your assignment. So let's try page 848. Page 548, sorry. And that would be 1 through 12. And page 552, 1 through 11. It looks like a lot, but a lot of it is just looking at a graph and identifying something. Okay? Okay. All right. How many minutes do I have? About 3? Okay, so I'm just going to, let's just look at these two problems. Would you agree with this statement? That profit equals revenue, how much you take in, your revenue, minus your cost.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty, makes sense. All right, so every company has a person that's devoted to these computing figures. Okay, pardon me? 5 what?
548.
5.
There's a 1 through 6.
Wait, 548. What?
Yeah. 548, yeah.
Sorry, 552. I gave you 552.
This just counts out 548.
No.
Yeah.
552, all right. And then, here it is, sorry. It was 558, sorry. Okay, so the zeros, I just want to show you this problem and the break-even point. And this one's right out of your textbook. So this company finds that for the past year, the revenue was this equation and its costs were another equation. Okay, does it make sense that the profit function is going to be the difference between their cost and their revenue? So all they did was, here is their revenue, and they subtracted the costs, and remember when you're subtracting, this is going to be a negative, and this negative is going to make that a negative, and you plug it in. So the relevant portion, and the thing has been graphed. So they're asking, write the profit function, they're asking you to write this profit function for the company, then find the break-even point, the first point where profit equals 0. So you're going to be looking at a graph. What happens after it's 0? Then you're going to start making money. The break-even point is where your costs and revenue cancel each other out, and then everything after that. So that is what you would be interested in. And it happens to be what? A cubic. Okay? And that's why we do have different graphs model different things. Okay, so your job for tonight's homework is really just to look for zeros. So one of them is just identifying maxes and mins, and the other one is looking at the zeros. I thought we could combine those two lessons because they were kind of repeats of what we had done before. Okay?